Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Ben Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Much love to all my subscribers and all the brothers out there in the old DVC doing their thing. Um, just a little quick nugget here. I've been under the weather the last week, and I wasn't able to do much videos because my voice was basically messed up. So feel a little bit better, this time around. So gotta gonna go back to making those videos again. Now, I wanted to particularly talk about this situation with Glen Davis. Glen Davis has been running his mouth, once again on Kyrie Irving. Now, where it stems from is when Kyrie Irving stepped on the Boston Celtics logo at the end of the series. When at the end of the series, you know what I mean? And he stepped on the logo, and Glenn Davis pretty much took offense about it and pretty much tried to proclaim that he's a Celtic for life and all this and that. Now, yesterday, Kyrie Irving, injured his right ankle when he accidentally stepped on Giannis's foot. Which is an accident. Things happen. But would you want to know what this fat turd, had the audacity to say on Twitter? He pretty much said that karma is a mother bleeping, B word. You know what I mean? And basically went into explicit details about, about all that other stuff, about the stepping on the logo and all that. Now, I took very issue with this because who is this man sit here and going to say that he took offense about what Kyrie Irving did by stepping on a freaking logo? Like, listen, that logo is always stepped on all the time in basketball. So I don't really understand where this stepping on the logo offense thing is coming from and all this. Because I think where it's coming from is that these players who used to play for the Celtics, they have this kind of, feeling of an entitlement that since they play for the Celtics or if they won a championship with the Celtics, that all of a sudden now they're a Celtic for life, and that it gives them more power or emboldenment, to the things that they can pretty much say or what they do. But here's a little news flash to that: Glenn Davis does not have any credibility about this at all, literally none whatsoever. Considering the fact that you only played 8 years in the NBA and only played 4 years until you were traded to the Orlando Magic and played your final 2 years with the LA Clippers. And by that time, you were fat and out of shape, and there were so many teams that had no interest of bringing you along. And so the other thing too that I always took an issue with Glenn Davis is that he was the kind of player that, as talented as he was, he never really took the game seriously as much as he should. He was always, constantly out of shape. I mean, I remember games where he would just be running and puffing all over the court. And also, he was a terrible defender. There's a good reason why Kevin Garnett chewed at him on the sidelines during that '08 season, and why he was crying like a little baby on the sidelines. That's where the nickname Big Baby comes in. You know what I mean? The dude was crying like a little petulant child on the sideline because KG was telling him all the things that he's doing wrong in explicit details, and obviously swear words were being used, and you couldn't take it. So I don't really care what he had to say about that. But on a, back to this issue at hand here, this dude needs to really be quiet. He really do. All right. I don't understand this kind of entitlement that a lot of these former players that played for the Celtics feel like you're not Larry Bird, you're not even Kevin McHale, you're not even close to Bill Russell. All right, you're not even close to Tom Sanders or the Jones brothers, both Casey or Sam Jones. All right, you're not even close to any of those guys because you only played 4 years in Boston, and the only reason when you won the championship is because you were running off the backs of three future Hall of Famers on one team. And so I really don't. This dude really needs to keep his mouth shut. Seriously. And when he basically made that tweet, and made that little video post on Twitter, the dude had the audacity to be a coward and basically quickly deleted the thing. And to me, that shows me that there's a lot of insecurity and there's a lot of animosity that he has towards Kyrie Irving. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what history that he has with him, but it doesn't really matter to me because what he did, that Sunday was wrong on so many levels. I mean, how could you wish karma on some. Why would you want to wish hurt on somebody, man? I mean, what kind of human being are you to think that way? You know what I mean? And let's speak some real truth on this. You were nothing more than property to the Boston Celtics. You weren't even a role player. You were just a bench warmer. All right? You were nothing more than a bench warmer, and you basically were just a pawn that the organization can use to trade you whenever they felt like it. That's why they traded you to Orlando, because you were basically expendable, and when they had no use for you, they were finished with you. That's why they got rid of you. And the other thing that really irritated the heck out of me is, where was this kind of venom where, when Kyrie Irving was speaking upon, all the different things that was wrong with the NBA and all the social justice stances that they were taking. And when Kendrick Perkins basically was taking the task of going against Kyrie Irving, where was your voice then on that? And another thing too, and this is probably the most powerful one that I'm sure a lot of Celtic fans are going to hate about it, but I don't really care. Where was your voice at when Ray Allen was always on trade rumors every single season? Every single season up until the time that he left as a free agent in 2012. All right? The man saw the writing on the wall. The Celtics were going to pretty much trade him even if he signed another deal with the Celtics to be a sixth man. And keep in mind, he was coming off the bench as a sixth man. The man still had prime years left in the tank and still was an expendable player, a valuable player at that. And you telling me that he deserved to be off the bench? Really? What was your voice then at that time, huh? I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it. And this guy is nothing more than nothing but fat excuses every time he runs his mouth. And the dude sounds terrible. Like, it feels like, he's one of those people that doesn't want to have like that intellectual type of kind of conversation. He was kind of like one of those people that, he feels like if I just talk, normal people with the swear words and all that. I mean that made me look like tough and all that. But bro, you're not even close to being tough at all. And KG ripped through that prowess when you were in 2008, when you were crying like a baby on the sideline. And so Glenn Davis needs to really do himself a favor, keep his mouth shut, and stick to something else, because this whole thing about the logo thing is just beyond ridiculous. That logo has been stepped on all the time. Don't forget, Bill Laimbeer used to spat at the leprechaun, literally spat at it before every game in the Boston Garden, in the old Boston Garden. And so, are you going to basically rip on him for that? Oh, wait, that's right. You weren't born during that time either. So, you get my drift. The point is, Glenn Davis made himself look real weak, and it made himself look like an inhumane person. So he needs to do himself a favor, stop flirting around with social media, leave Kyrie alone, and move on with your pathetic life. That's all you need to do. And so just my 2 cents about it. I'm not going to waste any more oxygen on this guy, because he's nothing more than a fat, useless troll. But tell me what you guys say in the comment section below. Peace.